evangelism tips. Number one, always have gospel tracts on you. Always. Never make an exception. I buy clothes that are conducive to having gospel tracts. It'd be a rare thing for you to find me with a shirt that doesn't have a top pocket on it. I put gospel tracts right in there. And you'll see, if you go to my bedroom right now and look in the dresser, I have tracts organized to ones I'm putting here and ones I'm putting in my cargo pocket. And you'll rarely ever see me with pants without cargo pockets. You know why? I got my tracts over here, I'll have my phone over here, or a wallet over here, and keys over here, and I'll have my Bible, have a water bottle. I got to carry all these things when I go events. So all of my clothing even that I'm buying has evangelism in mind. Okay? So always have gospel tracts on you. And I found you can have gospel tracts that are more specific to certain groups on you, but always, without fail, I would recommend have gospel tracts that are good for everybody to give them to. So one of my favorites is our God Loves You track, which talks about the true love of God and what it is, and what it means to, if it's unconditional or conditional, all those things. People always take them out. I rarely ever have someone reject that track. Okay? But it gives a good, clear, balanced message on the back. It's not just about God loving you, the whole fluffy stuff. Okay? The cross track is another one I like to keep myself. The fear God track. The what if track. Those are all tracks I have that I use all the time. I'm constantly passing them out wherever I go. But then if I know I'm going to an event or I'm going to an area where there's going to be lots of immodestly dressed women, I'll bring the beautiful track. And if I go into an event that's like a rock concert, I'll try to bring tracks that are conducive to that. I'll bring my American Idols track. If I'm going to the store, I'll bring my beer trivia tracks. I'll go down to the alcohol aisle and put the beer trivia tracks all in all those cases. And so constantly have tracks on me. I remember years ago, probably 16 years ago now, I think, I heard Ray Comfort say, if you ever find me with no gospel tracts on me, I'll give you $1,000 if you catch me with no gospel tracts on me. And to my understanding, no one's ever caught them. Okay? Now, I can't say that in the last 6 years, there's been times where I haven't had it. There's probably been times. But I have them all over the place. I have them in all my cars, have them in different slots. I have them ready to go at all times. I always encourage my children, because we go to the store like, oh, I forgot, they get gospel tracts. Well, that's your fault. This is your faith, not my faith. I have my faith, you have your faith. You need to remember. You need to remember it's your faith, and you care about your faith, and you care about lost souls. You need to remember to get gospel. I don't need to give you gospel tracts every time I go. And I brought these for myself to pass out. And so it's your faith. Take charge over it. So why gospel tracts? Besides always having them, why gospel tracts? Number one, sometimes it's good to say nothing. Sometimes people don't want to talk. People are so angry and they're so emotional at that point in time. I've had people who are, like I'm preaching at Daytona Beach spring break, they'll be so drunk, it'd be a waste of my time to say anything to them. And I've done several times with drunk people, I'll take a gospel tract and slip it in their pocket. They won't even notice it. They don't even notice me put it in their pocket. All the time I'd give it to them, I say, put this in your pocket and read it later. And they don't even bat an eye. They just obey what I tell them. They put it in their pocket. And I'm hoping later on they're going to read it. They'll wake up the next day with a hangover and say, well, what's this right here? Where did I get this from? Okay. Sometimes it's good to say nothing. People are angry and worked up. Someone's all angry and worked, give them a God Love You track. That'll change their tune real quick. I've seen people so many times. Me and Angela went to a store yesterday, and this lady was complaining about being at work, didn't want to be there. Angela gave her a God Love You track. I said, oh, now I'm glad I got here. I'm not sure if she's really being sincere in her statement, but it really kind of almost like rebuked her, for complaining for being at work. So sometimes it's good to say nothing. They speak to people who don't have time to talk to you. Okay? So like I said earlier, sometimes you go to the store, you'll want to strike up conversations. You'll have a desire to do that. Some people are just on the run. You're just cruising on by. Well, you can't stop and talk to everybody, unfortunately. Just can't do it. Sometimes you go to a concert or a sporting event, not everybody who's walked, the tens of thousands of people walking to the event aren't going to want to stop and talk to you. So what's the best way to reach them? Give them a gospel tract. And then they'll read that tract when they do have time. Number 3, gospel tracts go places you can't go. They go into people's houses. They go into people's living rooms. They go into people's bedrooms. Other people who live in the house find those things. And end up reaching people you never would have reached otherwise. So they reach people you'll never meet. Sometimes you'll get someone who give a tract to them. They'll walk 100 yards, reading it the whole way. They'll be disgusted by it and throw it on the ground. Someone else will walk on by, never walk by you, they'll pick it up and read it themselves. There's some people I've read of who have found gospel tracts who are like janitorial type people. They're sweeping up afterwards. They'll find gospel and get saved from reading a gospel someone else threw on the ground. One of the places I like to put tracts is in the bathroom. You know, people are sitting there for a while, they got nothing else to do, give them a tract to read. You know? Give them a tract to read. And you're actually reaching people you're never going to meet because it's there for maybe hours. You put a gospel tract in a little advertising thing at a gas pump. We found that they're a week later. Who knows if people have read it? Someone said earlier, I think it was a Walmart recently, when we went to the gym yesterday, we found a beautiful tract at the Walmart. I don't know how it got there. Just sitting there. We couldn't figure out how it got there. It was at one of the self-checkouts. Gospel tracts don't stumble over their words. Sometimes when we are nervous or lack confidence, maybe it's the first witness encounter we've had in a while, we'll stumble over words, won't come out real nice, but gospel tracts don't stutter. They don't stumble over their words. It's just like a book, a little mini book to read. Oftentimes, even though we may not try to communicate certain things, our body language, our facial expressions, and our tone of voice communicate things we never intended to communicate. But gospel tracts don't have body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. It's just words on a piece of paper. That's all it is. So it gets the involuntary human aspect out of the way. You know, sometimes we mean to do certain facial expressions. If my children do something wrong, I might give them a look, and they'll know, oh, I better stop. And I'm meaning to do that. Other times, I may give a facial expression to someone that I didn't mean to do that, because I wasn't being conscious enough about my facial expressions or about my tone of voice or whatever it may be. It may come out the wrong way. But gospel tracts don't have that problem. Most times, they're inexpensive. I mean, you can buy